My Fanatec Review by JHRacing 2020. Well, we ordered the Fanatec equipment. We got the DD2 with the podium hub and the podium wheelbase for the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. This is the universal hub wheel rim. Also the Club Sport V3 pedals, the damper kit, and the brake performance kit. The good side. Well, ordering and shipping was very good. Shipping was very reliable. It actually came a little bit before they said it would. It was delivered in the regular post, but it came with tracking, and it was fantastic. The assembly of all of this equipment was pretty good. Well laid out, but on the negative side, the instructions could have been a little bit more clear. For example, when doing certain things, it would tell you to unscrew this or tighten this, and then in a later step, maybe 10 steps later, it would say, if you wish to make an adjustment, you would have to do this. So you'd have to go and undo all the work that you already did and reinstall something, which was rather frustrating. On the assembly side, which again, overall, parts fitting together, everything working well, being good, I did like the fact that they don't supply you with all the required tools that you need. You need a certain number of Allen keys to undo screws. You must have the right ones, they're metric sized. To do the brake performance kit and you're taking apart one of the pedals, you have to undo a set screw. And if you don't have the right tool to undo the set screw, it's very easy to strip a lot of these pieces of equipment that you're using. And I didn't like that very much. I had to actually go out to the hardware store and buy more equipment, more tools to finish off the assembly of the kit. So I wish Fanatec would include all the correct tools to do all the things that you wish to do. Back to the good side, functionality. Well, that's fantastic. The Fanatec software is great. You can start making adjustments, although I will admit there are a lot of adjustments, and it's going to take months, maybe years, to figure out what is going to be the right setup for certain cars, but at least you have the option of doing that. The installation is on the negative side of things. Wow. You load the software and there's all these drivers and you can't tell if the driver has been put in and it's going to function correctly, and then your wheel starts shaking like crazy, all the oscillations, and you try to adjust it, and then you find out you don't have the most current driver, and then you try to put in the driver for maybe the DD2, then you go back to the pedals and then you realize that there's nothing there. You have to use the setup that comes with the DD2. It was a bit of a nightmare going through all of that. It took a couple of days to kind of figure out if I had all the drivers installed correctly and whatnot. Eventually, it was all there and it all did work. Continuing on the negative side, I'll just mention about the ease of adjustments. Again, through the Fanatec software, you can make adjustments. Through the actual buttons on the steering wheel, you can make adjustments into the DD2 wheelbase. But again, understanding all of those adjustments is a little bit tricky. But if you want to make some other adjustments, for example, when I was doing the pedals, I had them all installed and bolted down to my rig. And then I'm reading later on in the instructions, right near the end, if you want to put in the latest firmware, you got to plug in the USB into your computer. Well, for me, that meant I'd have to take all the stuff off my rig again, take it all apart, put the USB in to do that. I wish I had known that near the beginning. So again, back to the instructions, I wish they had made that a little bit more clear. But back on the positive side, overall, the race experience with the Fanatec DD2 and the wheel rim and the pedals is fantastic. I've upgraded from the Logitech G29, which I felt was very good. Not going to knock that. It works really well. But a big upgrade to the Fanatec equipment. A couple of $1,000 in terms of upgrade. But the race experience is really worth it. I hopped in my first couple of races and I won both of them. I felt the steering was smooth. I was able to use the Fanatec software to kind of dial in the settings that I like in terms of force feedback. The lights on the steering wheel are phenomenal, just to look at. Watching the green come on, watching the white flag, white lights come on. Getting all the data on the steering wheel, not just the speed, but some of the functions, etc. Really makes the experience of racing super enjoyable. So overall, after having the Fanatec equipment for 1 week now, I've got through the installation and assembly instruction step. So with that out of the way, and that's my only negative side to the whole story, all the instructions and installation and drivers and everything, when I go to the actual functionality and the race experience, after 1 week of driving in iRacing, I'm really enjoying the Fanatec experience.